Good morning, good morning. Great Monday morning. I am back. It's for those who have jumped on the first one. If you will, go ahead and join me on this live. Thank you. So I do have two viewing. Apologize for the technical difficulties. However, welcome to the first 3 day challenge. This is the first day of the 3 day challenge entitled I Am Focused. And we're going to jump right on in. Um, welcome. Barrier breakers. Hope you're hopping on. But like I said, we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you again for your patience. So, I am focused. Why this topic? Why have I chosen why have I chosen this topic? I am focused. Well, we all are aware of what has been going on in 2020. The pandemic that's been going on, a lot of different things that have been going on worldwide. Um, just to name a few, with the pandemic, with some of us have experienced it firsthand. Um, um, Also with the changes that are being made, corporate world, even with education, with the schooling, colleges, you name it, just worldwide, we're in a where things are changing before our eyes. So the topic I am focused came from, derived from actually what's going on right now. I'm sure you all have experienced times where you have lost focus or perhaps a clear visual definition of where you are or where you're going, what you need to be focused on. And also, I'm sure there's been times that you didn't have a focal point to regain focus or reel your thoughts back on point. Um, Barriers can cause you distractions just to take you off focus. So I'm going to pause right there. Barriers, if you're not sure what that means, barriers can restrict or cause you to get frustrated, and it can restrict you from focusing. Also, it can also permit you from focusing on what you need to focus on. Actually, focus is part of your mindset as well. So if you don't know what barriers that keep you from focusing or knowing how you got off focus, normally it's some type of barrier. What I mean by that is a barrier such as like this pandemic, the COVID-19 can be a barrier for us to where, it may bring fear, it may cause us to doubt or, basically which would throw us off focus on what, we need to be doing. It can throw our faith off focus. It could throw our hope off focus. What I'm going to do is another barrier that could throw us off focus. So the title of this today is I Am Focused. So we're going to talk about a few words that can be a barrier and how we can break that barrier in order to regain focus. First word we're going to talk about today is I can't. How many of us have used that word I can't? I just can't do this anymore. I can't focus. I'm frustrated. So, we'll say I can't. I can't stay financially focused. I can't focus on this project because everything that's going on around me. I can't because I don't believe I can. So a lot of times I can't is a barrier to where it restricts us from focusing. So when we begin to refocus, we can use the word I can. Well, how can you begin using the word I can instead of I can't? First, you gotta believe, right? You gotta believe that I can. Yes, I can. I know I can. I believe I can. Came from, I'm sure you may be familiar of the movie, I want to say Professor I can't call his name at that time. But however, yes, I can. I know I can. I believe I can. So if we just begin to refocus, sometimes we have to step back, take a deep breath, and thank you, Alanda. Yes, we have to sit back and take a deep breath and begin to say, yes, I can. Sometimes with taking that deep breath and then holding it for like, count 1 to 5 and then exhaling for 1 to 5, counting from 1 to 5 in your mind, and then begin to say, I can. Yes, I can. I can do this. I can refocus on what I need to be doing. Whether it's writing a book, whether it's launching a new product, whether it's your, again, like I said, finances. Some of us with this pandemic, we might have encountered, a layoff or furlough. So then that became a barrier to where it threw you off focus to say, I can't do this. I'm not going to be able to pay my bills, or what am I going to do? Um, I can't, begin to live on without, work. Of course, some of us, probably all of us, received the stimulus package to where it did help. And so that brought about, I would say, some hope. I'm one who believe solely on my Father, which is in heaven, our God. So I know with Him all things are possible. So even with that, happening, we did not know that we were going to receive a stimulus. So we received some type of stimulus in some form. So there were different things that were set in place as well for us, to where our mortgages, where you could get a deferment, and just different things that I'm sure that we have came across during this pandemic. So it helped us, if you weren't able to refocus then, at during that time, when you may have been laid off, or your finances, were thrown off. Now I'm sure you are refocusing, on some things with, some of us being able to go back to work or either work from home or definitely after you receive that stimulus package. So what am I saying? All right. In a nutshell, if you find yourself backed up in a corner saying the word I can't, or even in your mind, if your mind you're doubting because you don't think you can, then I'm here to tell you just sit back and just take a deep breath, exhale, inhale and exhale, and begin to imagine yourself doing it, surviving, thriving, refocusing and saying, I can. It can start with a simple word by changing your mindset, your thought process, and saying, I can instead of I can't. So now we're going to go to the next word. I find these words here, if you will, I can't, and even the word dreaming. These are words that possibly you may not consider yourself as a poor individual, but these mindsets and thought processes are what a poor man tend to have. A rich man or wealthy man tend to have, a different mindset, a different thought process. As I stated, with I can't would be a poor man thought process. A rich man or wealthy man process believes he can. Even taking a jump, he just believes I can soar, I will, I can do this, and I will do this. So with the word dreaming, a poor man tends to just dream, have all these dreams, but then do not actually make the dream a reality. So basically, the poor man just dreams all the time. But a rich man, guess what? He makes that dream a living reality. He strategizes. He puts it into action. He put a plan into action. So, if you will, the poor man tends to harp on the negative vibes or negative words. And so the rich man, the wealthy man, focus on positive words, things that's going to push positive words that will empower him or her to press forward, to move forward, to focus on the end result. And I want to inject that focusing on the outcome is a great motivator in life. I'll say it again. Focusing on the outcome is a great motivator in life. So, guess what? If I'm focusing on making that dream a reality instead of just dreaming, that dream, the end result of that dream, making it a living reality, should motivate me to not just dream, but to make that work at that dream. So now we're going to go to the next word that may cause us, again, not to stay focused or not to be focused. Yes, the word later. A lot of times, we've like today, Monday morning, our day has started, day has begun. Some of us started well before 10 o'clock. Some of us started at midnight on this Monday morning. So later is a word that can throw us off focus. Because when we get frustrated, sometimes we'll just stop in our tracks. We won't complete what we're doing, complete the task at hand. So we'll say, I'll just do it later. We tend to put it off for later because we can get depressed, we can get despondent, discouraged, and so we'll put it off for later. Again, we said, if you go back and say, I can, and I'm going to make this dream a reality. So guess what? I'm going to do it now, not later. There again, we said at the beginning, sit back, inhale, and exhale. And then you can regain focus. And you can pick back up the pen, whether it's a book you're writing, whether it's a product. You can pick it back up and say, I'm going to do this now. A way to do it now, you can make a task or prioritize. And you can make a task to map out your day to where you can stay focused. So you can stick with your now task, if you will, instead of saying I'm going to put this task off for later, for whatever may come up. Some of us, we have a lot of things that interfere with our day, and sometimes it's beyond our control. With us having children, clients, for us business owners, conference calls if we're in the corporate world, as well as a business owner as well. So we can have several interruptions that can throw us off focus as well. And so then when we regain focus, we may forget where we left off. And so we say, oh, well, you know what? I'll just finish this later. Instead of doing it now. How many think or know that time is of the essence? And so make the best of your day. Make the most out of your day. And do whatever you can, do it in the moment. Do it that day. Don't put off today. Don't put off for tomorrow what you can do for today. Now we're going to go to our next word. Ooh, this might be a big one. I want to say this is probably fitting for what's going on in the world today. Neglecting change. Some of us do not cope with change very well. Change in our finances, change in our workplace, change in the school. Of course, we all are encountering change right now with the pandemic. The pandemic has caused a lot of changes to come in our lives. We didn't ask for it, but it happened. We didn't decide upon it, but it happened. So, with neglect and change, that can be a negative vibe if you will, or negative thought that can cause us to, you know, to put cause us to not focus. So it can cause us to, like we said, pandemic. It could cause us to become to be in a panic state. So when you're in a panic state, you can't focus. So you have to regain focus and say, I am focused, regardless of what's going on around me. Whatever the change is, I'm not going to neglect what's happening in the world today that caused me not to adapt to the change, to not cause me to make it work for me. How many of you know that, it may seem bad, but it can work for your good? So I am here to say that the pandemic can work for your good. Just don't neglect it. Adapt to it. Make it work for you. See the good in it. You see the good where, for instance, some of us, I'm one, that is working from home. So working from home, instead of me neglecting that change or not adapting to the change, or causing me to be throw my focus off, to where I was saying I can't, I began to adapt to the change. I began to be the change. I began to be the change by looking at the positive in me working from home. Of course, it allows me flexibility in my time. It allows me to save money. I'm not having to drive or commute back and forth to work. So then it calls me to save money where I didn't have to spend, where I normally would spend if I was commuting back and forth to work. So neglect and change, we're going to not neglect change, we're going to be the change. Now to our, that was our last word. So I got excited. Yes. So we actually did finish. We're finished up. And so we discussed some ways of how we can stay focused. And then we're going to start our day 2 on Wednesday, July the 15th, starting at 10 o'clock. And again, I challenge you to regain focus and stay focused. And then you too can say, I am focused. And remember, focusing on the outcome is a great motivator in life. When you lose sight of the outcome, you can become vulnerable to discouragement in the journey. Stay focused. And by the end of this challenge, you'll be able to say, I am focused. You all have a great day. Thank you for joining the live. And barrier breakers, continue to break those barriers of saying I can't, just dreaming, saying later or putting things off for later and neglecting change. And start saying I can. Start living the dream. Start walking out the dream. Start making that dream a reality. Start now. And finally, be the change. You all have a wonderful day. Bye.